Hello and welcome everyone to tonight's Xfinity race. Tonight we will be at Watkins Glen. Now we have not seen racing for I think exactly a week now. Last Thursday was canceled due to the NASCAR heat servers being a little wonky. And Monday, they were... Sorry, I'm reading my phone. And Monday, we were called off because of Labor Day. So we did not have racing for a whole week. Last time we saw racing was at Chicagoland. The story of that one was Masopes. You know, looked like he was gonna stick it out and win the race, but ran out of gas coming down the line on the last lap, and Mo Doodle pounced for the win. Mo Doodle is locked into the second round now, so we do not have anyone joining me in the booth tonight. A lot of people couldn't because of personal reasons, which I completely understand, but it is just going to be me, a solo booth tonight. Isn't that exciting? I've never led a broadcast before, so this should be interesting. So we have a couple storylines to talk about the Xfinity standings. As I said, Mo Doodle is locked in on points. Tiger, NASCAR, JoJo, Kenny, and Electric, all sitting comfortably above the cut line. And then it gets tight on points. Masopes, like I said, should have won, but ran out of fuel. He is 9 points above the cut line right now. Killer XL, he's only 7. So those are the drivers good on the playoffs right now. Below the cutoff line would be the 18 of Vibe and Marns, which is also changed his name to Larson Nation, I believe. And then we have TK270 Kelvin, which sit 13 points below the cut line, and Mudweiser sitting 16 points below the cut line. So as I see it, the 9 and the 6, Kelvin and Mudweiser, they're basically coming in here basically thinking that they gotta win. Now, there is another race, which is Talladega, and anything can happen, which is also worth noting that Kelvin and Mudweiser have won the last 2 plate tracks, so anything could happen in this last round, but I'm looking for them to maybe step it up tonight and have some really good pace. Now, these Xfinity drivers have went through and made their way to qualifying. I might have someone joining me in the booth. So the race should be starting soon. I have just invited Big Jim. Let's see if we can get him in here and provide me with some company for this very exciting race tonight. And we welcome Jim into the broadcasting booth. Jim, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well, man. How are you, Brody?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm glad to see that racing is back. You know, as I have mentioned, you know, we had a whole week off. You know, how was that for you as one of the drivers?
A little relaxing. You know, being able to actually take a week off felt like it was planned, but it wasn't. It was because the servers weren't working. But it gives you a little time to regroup and get your mind focused on a pretty difficult road course near Watkins, Glen.
Exactly. You know, and I think that's the break that we kind of needed for the playoffs. You know, it was starting to get a little ramped up in the Xfinity series. We saw a great finish between Modoodle and the Soaps, and then in the Cup series, we see Sharp pull out with a win. And you know, Sharp, you know, right now is probably one of the most controversial drivers, but because of that break, I feel like everyone's forgot about it.
Controversial, but also one of the hottest drivers right now. He had a chance to win 3 in a row, missed out at Daytona, but won Michigan, and then going to go over to JoJo tonight because he's got a lot of competition at JRM.
And we can join now.
I will be joining. I only got one invite, so hopefully this sticks.
I think you'll be fine. But, you know, I've kind of already talked about the playoff standings coming into this race, and, you know, I've basically said Tiger and Kenny, Electric, and, who was the other one? JoJo are basically kind of locked in on points. And here we go down into turn 1. Looks like Kenny got the pole. We're heading up to the S as Kenny takes the lead over Tiger. Everyone else kind of files in line.
These two right here, Tiger and Kenny, they had an incredible battle at the Charlotte Roval in this series, Season 3, and it was, we're going to have to see if that actually pays dividends here at Watkins Glen in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think everyone's kind of expecting these two to be the powerhouses for especially this race. But I'm looking kind of further back into the field and kind of seeing what other drivers can do. You know, we've seen Racing Greens. You know, he's been really fast on these road courses, and oh wow, he changed his name again. Tiny NASCAR 8 in the 61.
What a name. I'm also looking back at my other teammate, as it looks like we might have a battle for the lead, but Larson Nation back here, he wasn't even going to make this race last week, so he's very grateful that he has the opportunity to make this one. And he said that he was feeling pretty confident about Watkins Glen. So we'll have to see. Right now, running 5th, having a pretty good run. We'll have to see if he can get up there and contend with the juggernauts of Kenny and JoJo and Tiger.
Well, here comes the 61, looking to make a move on the 8. I don't know what happened to Tiger, but he was really slow through the S's. He is going to have a better bus stop than the 61, so it looks like 1, 2, and 3 will stay in the same position. Kind of move on back through the field and see if any moves are being made.
Yep, Tiny NASCAR 8 versus Tiger NASCAR 1. That 61 is, I'm pretty proud right now. He's fast. He misses a corner a little bit there in turn 6, but he is able to keep up with them so far, and that's a long cry from what we saw at Charlotte Roval, because it didn't seem like anybody was competing with the 8 or 7 JRM at Charlotte Roval.
Well, I am looking further back into the field right now, and I've found Sir Sadsack. I'm not exactly sure what place he is in, but he's making a move on the 21 right now. Heading into turn 1, he thinks better of it and backs off, but Sadsack is our road course ringer of the league. You know, every single time we come to a road course, I just hope that Sadsack is racing, because he is, you know, at the beginning of the race, he's not that kind of flashy, but whenever runs keep going, you know, he's one to watch. He's really fast.
Yeah, Sir Sadsack right now, he's kind of mired back here because doesn't have the track position to start out with. Don't think he had a really good qualifying effort, but once it becomes stage 2, stage 3, he has nothing to lose. He's not a playoff driver, so he can go out here and really rough some guys up for his first win of Season 3.
I agree.
Looks like Kenny is starting to pull a little bit of a gap here over Tiger. Tiny NASCAR still on that kind of the same gap from Kenny to Tiger as it is Tiger to Tiny NASCAR. And the 92 of JoJo back then. One thing to mention is that the 8 of Tiger NASCAR, he won this race earlier. He won it in the Truck Series, which was called down, but he won that one in a 100%er and kind of dominated it. Really had to come back from a lot of instances of wrecking or getting loose. Came back and won the race, so gonna have to see if that the knowledge he gained from Watkins Glen a couple weeks ago pays off here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Chase Elliott story, you know, battle through adversity and come home with the W. But, you know, I think Tiger is one of the best road courses in the league, and he's really fun to watch, really fast at any road course that we come to. But I was kind of expecting this. Kenny is, you know, he's pulling away.
He's fast here, man. Him and Tiger, again, the juggernauts of the road courses. Those are the guys you have to look out for. But I'm just trying to look through the pack and see anybody that might be able to contend with them. And so far, if you give some of these guys some track position, it's going to be pretty close because I'm seeing some pretty interesting stuff. Jackson Altman has also made his way up into the top 5. So shout out to the 36, moving past Larson Nation, 5th position.
Yeah, Jackson, ever since this was the next race to be held, Jackson's kind of been marking this as a race that could be really good for him. He's showing really good speed right now, as you were saying.
Also back here, Masopes and 10 of Killer. These guys battling for, looks like 7th, 6th position back here. But those guys going at it. Masopes, I've never really tagged him as a road course ringer, but I know that Killer has been looking forward to a road course for a while, and this is a good chance for him to make up some points there on the cut line.
And I think especially with Watkins Glen, and as soon as the green flag drops, you're going straight into a right-hander. I think track position is a lot about this race, you know. You got to have really good track position, basically in the first 2 rows, just to have a shot at the lead.
Yeah, you would have to send it, and nobody likes someone who sends it into turn 1. So anyone in that 2nd row, unless they kill someone in the 1st row, they don't really have a shot until you get up to the S's. Even then, it seems like that 1st row gets such a nice launch off, just on the restarts at least.
I do want to mention with our playoffs, Masopes is only 2 points ahead of Killer, and they're both in the green. So by Killer actually being in front of Masopes and kind of pulling away, this is actually really good for him. He would not, because Killer is on the bubble right now, so he could possibly put Masopes on the bubble heading into Talladega, and of course no one wants to be there.
Yeah, especially Masopes. He's already mentioned that he hasn't made that many friends this season. So far this season. So Talladega is going to be a tough out for him, and it would be crazy if we didn't have our defending champion make it through the 1st round. The 20 was so fast last season, it's kind of crazy to think that Masopes wouldn't make it this season, but after Chicagoland and the risk he took there and pit road and all that happening, it just I'm in a precarious situation, just trying to gain some points here as much as he can in stage 1.
And I also going to try to find a lap counter.
Oh yeah,
because that would be very helpful. And I can't. Hopefully, Ignition has a lap counter. That would be beautiful.
I don't think it's much to ask for, right? But they don't have private lobbies right now, so yeah, that's good. It's a bit upsetting. Nice battle back here for 8th or 9th between Electric Days passing Sir Sadsack. I'm in turn 6, a little crossover action.
I do just want to know. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I believe we are on 2 to go right now, but let's go back up to the front. Somehow the 8 car has caught Kenny.
He has hounded him, going through the backstretch right here into the bus stop. Gotta be so careful not to run your teammate over if you're Tiger. Man, they are just slinging it in through there. It's kind of crazy to think about them not wrecking.
Yeah, this is just for the stage. This isn't even for the win, but these guys are so competitive and they want to beat each other.
Kenny is cooking, but Tiger hasn't let him go just quite yet.
Tiger's gonna send it in there.
Yeah, from other leagues, I could tell you these guys are fast, not just in Xfinity, but Cup and Trucks. They are just really good at road courses.
1 to go in stage 1. Can Kenny hold off hard-charging Tiger?
I don't think Tiger's going to push the issue too much here. I think he's a very reserved driver. I've never seen him really make a absurd move. But especially on his teammate, we'll have to see, though. If Tiger feels like he's faster, especially in the bus stop, sometimes it's hard to even slow down for the guy in front of you when you're going through the bus stop.
Yeah, and, you know, these guys have a very high amount of respect for each other. You know, as I've said, that they're really competitive. They also have a lot of respect for each other, which goes, you know, a long way, I feel like.
Into turn 6 and into turn 7. Doesn't look like, unless there's an ambitious lunge from the 8, looks like the 7 of Kenny is going to be able to hold this one off.
Yeah. Kenny's going to come to the line. He's going to be our stage 1 winner. Tiger's going to place second. I did not want to call it out while we were watching the battle between the front two, but the 36 of Jackson, he was in 5th place. He actually spun off of turn 1.
Oh.
And he's going to finish the stage 8th. So, you know, very unlucky for him.
Yeah, but also to that point is that, like, he isn't in the playoffs. So he has nothing to lose. Stage points don't mean anything to him, just a race win. And if he has the speed in that car, he's going to lose a little track position here, but he will be able to make it back up if the car's good.
Mm-hmm. So our top 4 will not change from when we last saw it. JoJo's going to be in 4th. Larson Nation's going to come home in 5th. Killer in 6th. Masop 7th. And our next playoff driver would be Kelvin in 10th.
Oh, okay. So Kevin getting some points?
Yeah, but he's got to get in front of Masops and Killer. He's got to beat those 2 drivers.
That is true.
And then also with Vibin getting points. He's also below the cut line. I'm going to keep calling him Vibin. I got to start calling him Larson. Here we go. Stage 2.
That white... Oh, the 18!
Wow, the 18's going to spin heading into guesses. That's going to basically kill a stage.
No cautions here. There are no... I guess manuals are a thing, but there are no game cautions, so that's going to really hurt the 18's stage points ambitions.
Oh,
here.
wow,
Like
Kenny!
Yeah, that was Kenny that just cut the... he cut the ending part of the bus stop a ton right there. But it didn't look like he really gained any time. He actually lost a lot of time doing it.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be penalized just because he gave up 3 spots doing it, but that's going to put Tiger to the lead.
Don't want to let him in the lead.
Oh, you do not. Look at the 61 and the 92. They're not letting him get away right now. Here comes the 61 for 2nd place. Going to outbrake JoJo. Kenny's going to go through the grass, a little detour.
Kenny is having trouble because he was so fast out front and having his own braking points and all that, but now that he's behind guys and having to adjust to their braking points, he's really missing his corners, and it's costing him. He's going to have a little bit of adjustment to do here because you're not going to be out front all race long, especially right now. This is a very tough time for Kenny.
Oh, wow. The 7's going to send it in. And past the 10, that was really clean, but wow, did that get tight. Here comes Kenny under JoJo for third place. Great move.
Yeah, well, one way to avoid having to worry about braking for other people is just pass them as quick as possible. And that's exactly what Kenny's doing, is he is door to door with the 92. Actually, JoJo's going to just give it to him to move Kenny up to third.
And JoJo's going to battle back on the outside, but Kenny has the preferred lane.
Still there.
Looks like Kenny will get it. Also having the preferred lane going in the 1. Will outbrake the 92. Kenny into third place. Can he track down the 61 of Tiny NASCAR?
I think he can, but tracking down that 8 is going to be very tough because we saw what the 7 could do with his own braking points. Now that the 8 is out front, doesn't have to worry about braking for the 7. Is the 8 faster out in clean air and with a clean racetrack in front of him? We'll just have to see here in stage 2 if that 8 can run away.
It looks like the 10 Killer is starting to make a battle with JoJo for 4th place, I believe. Really good run for both of these guys. I don't really treat these guys as road course ringers or anything, but having a solid run tonight, you know, Killer and JoJo both need this.
Every point matters for that 10, but I've got to caution them that, I mean, you just saw the 18 wipe out. On the cut line, that's your biggest threat right now, is Vibin Marnes, or excuse me, Larson Nation now. He was under the cut line, and you're going to gain on him in this stage because he wrecked, and you're still out there in stage point territory. So 10 just needs to keep it in stage point territory and get a net gain out of this. Don't push it too hard where you might wreck it underneath the 92 or 7.
Very spread out through the back half of the field. It looks like we have 2 different kind of groups, 1 through 5, and then maybe a 2 to 3 second gap back to Masopes, who leads that second train of cars. He's going to be under fire under Sadsack. Sadsack slowly starting to make it through this field. You know, I told you he was one to watch. He's going to make a move on the 78 right now. Masopes is going to give it to him. Try to cross him over.
All that's happening. The 18 actually hit pit road. That damage was too much for him. He's going to go a lap down here, and his race hinges on the fact that nobody else has wrecked it. So he needs to stay the only car a lap down.
Yeah, he's going to come off pit road in that second group of cars. Just needs to stay out of trouble.
I'm not sure what he's doing. If he's trying to let everyone by and then go, or... Yep, that's what he's doing. Okay. Tiny NASCAR has not let off the bumper Tiger NASCAR yet. He is right there in his shadow. And Kenny, I mean, don't look now, but Kenny is starting to gain on both of them.
Yeah, something's kind of different this stage. Tiger isn't able to pull away from the 61 like he did to catch Kenny in stage 1. Wonder what's happening, but yeah, the 7 is catching the 61. As Tiger starts to pull away.
Here, turn 1, I imagine. Yep, he's going to peek to the inside, out brake, and that right there is a textbook move if the 61 isn't able to stay with them. Yep, 61 concedes, move Kenny up to second.
Now let's see if Kenny can track down his teammate for yet another stage 1. He's looking for maximum points right now. He got the pole, he won stage 1.
And the important part about those stage wins is that they transfer on to the next round. Ooh, 7 gets a little loose right there.
They're gonna make contact.
Yeah, those. So I think the pole point, the pole position point that Kenny got does transfer over to the next round, round of 7, and so would any stage wins. So for any of these guys, other than the 61, stage points, stage wins mean quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely. But we did see the 7 have a little bit of trouble through the bus stop. Looks like the 61 is kind of settled down behind him. Kenny has 3 laps to catch Tiger, and honestly, I don't think he can do it. I think Kenny right now just needs to kind of work on his consistency. I don't think, but I don't think he is as consistent.
Well, a little more on the not so much the playoff note, but just race notes, is the 36 hit pit road before the stage end, so wasn't in stage point territory. Stage points don't mean anything to him. He might take the lead here going into stage 3, because I don't think he's going to pit again.
Yeah, and I think that's a great move, you know, with this track being so large, you're not going to fall a lap down as the drivers pummel into the start-finish line. The 36 is in the S's. He is comfortably on the lead lap. So, as you were saying, we could see a new lap leader.
Not only is staying on the lead lap big for Jackson himself, but it's also huge for Larson Nation, because if 36 went a lap down, by any means, it would ruin the 18's race, because there are no cautions after stage 3. So we will make sure to keep an eye on the 36, make sure he stays on lead lap. If he doesn't, that's going to be bad news for Larson Nation.
Now we are on 2 laps to go in this final stage, coming to the white flag of stage 2. Tiger's kind of maintaining that lead that he had over Kenny. Oh, Kenny got loose. 61's gonna pass him.
Giving a shot right back to the 61.
Yeah, he sent it into 6 and got loose coming out. This is the white flag for Tiger. Great run for the 61.
Yeah, he wanted us to know. I think he was there in the podcast live chat for I think it was week 2, episode 2. He was there saying, "Hey, don't forget about me at Watkins Glen," and we shouldn't, because he is sandwiched in between the 2 juggernauts of the road courses. Might be able to hold off Kenny for a second, even though it doesn't mean much for him other than track position going into stage 3.
Yeah, and he could be a sleeper pick for the win. You know, he definitely has the pace. Kenny's gonna send him. Oh, who's gonna get? The Tiger's gonna win stage 2. Who's gonna get second place? Kenny on the outside.
The drive off for Kenny.
Wow. What a move.
That was impressive. It was, now we get to see, I mean, the 7 versus the 8. We'll have to see where the 36 cycles out, because I think he's playing the strategy of not pitting here. And he'll start out, and you know as well as anyone, Brody, that tires don't mean anything at road courses.
No, they don't. I think your car actually gets better as the run goes on these road courses. These old tires, you're able to turn some really fast laps. I think cold tires are a little bit slower on these road courses.
Yeah, it's like you want less grip in the tires. I'm not sure what that does. It's like you roll the corners better when you are about 80% on the tires or lower.
which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Ignition can resolve that. But as for now, guys like Kenny and Tiger have kind of mastered that idea, same as Joker and Heredia and Cup, that being on older tires, you want to stretch out stops as long as you can just to have those older tires.
And here we go. 36 to the lead to start stage 3. Ooh. Kenny said it's go time. He is going to send the 36. And all that track position he had just gained is all gone.
He's got to be careful not to wreck anyone back there.
Oh, and he's going to hit the wall in the back.
Biggest beneficiary out of this, though. Look at who's in third. That's Killer. Killer looking for his first win of season 3. If he could beat these two, it would be impressive stuff.
Killer actually won at Kentucky.
Oh, yep. Excuse me. You were 100% right. This would be his first win at a road course.
Thought I heard crunching in the back, but oh, Kelvin. Kelvin has heavy damage.
Oh yeah, way off the pace too. I think you gotta come down and pit and get that fixed. Yeah, I don't know what to say because no cautions. This might be the end of Kevin's run here at Watkins Glen. He's gonna be in a must-win at Talladega.
And same with Mudweiser. Unfortunate events for both of our playoff drivers there, but you know they are the last 2 winners on the plate tracks.
They are. Sets up for something very interesting next week.
That makes the battle between Killer and Masopes way more interesting, I feel like. Now this is what we wanted to see. Kenny and Tiger.
Line that Tiger was running right there almost gave the inside to Kenny, but Kenny didn't want to send it that hard just quite yet. He kind of let the 8 diamond it. But later in the race, I don't know if the 7's going to be so graceful about it. He probably is going to keep his nose there and move the 8 up and kill the momentum. So if you're the 8, you got to be thinking about your lines a little bit, thinking about what you're going to change when you get defensive on Kenny here.
Kenny's gonna take, or Tiger's gonna take the defensive line heading into 1. Tiger is gonna hold the lead up through the S's. As you were talking about Killer, you know, up into 3rd place, that restart definitely benefited him more than anyone. I think he gained 2 spots prior to being. He finished 5th at the end of stage 2. So yeah, he has gained 2 spots because of that restart, which is huge.
He's kind of the lone wolf there for Colleague anymore. I don't know if the 11 or 16 have made this race. I don't think they have. But he's trying to hold that flag firmly in the ground and maybe grab a win here. It would be huge for him going forward, not just for winning, but momentum. We talk about it all the time, that momentum is so big, and a win in the playoffs anywhere is going to be huge for you.
Well, although the 16 and 11 did not make this race, he's still got a teammate. It's the 21 of Ballstick. Let's check up on him. He is riding somewhere around 10th, looks like.
Oh, almost saw a wreck right in front of him. Hayes Clay got very loose coming out of turn 1 there.
And, you know, I think anyone that talks about Hayes Clay, I think they only have good things to say about him. He was so close to making the playoffs. And I believe he could have made a deep run into the playoffs.
Yeah, he didn't get very lucky at Daytona, and I think he missed a couple of races, if I'm not mistaken. I think that there were a couple of races that, or he just had some really bad luck, because I saw him up front at a bunch of those races, but I think he could have been in the playoffs if he just had a little better luck.
Well, he was not here at the beginning of the season. I think he joined around race 4 or race 5.
Yeah, but he was up there. I remember distinctly, he was up there at Daytona and had a unfortunate thing happen in like the last 3 laps that put him in the wall and, you know, out of the way to make it. But it is good to see that he stayed here and stayed in the league, even despite not making the playoffs. It's a testament to his character, and we were glad to have him.
Kind of looking through the field because a lot of drivers are really separated besides that battle for the lead. Now, I have set my eyes on Electric Days. You know, he came into the playoffs, or he came into this race, I believe, 22 or 23 points above the cut line. He had a well cushion, and I know that he doesn't really like road course racing. Notice that he didn't get really any stage points, so that lead is going to kind of diminish, but I think he'll still be alright heading into Talladega. Ooh, Electric is actually lagged out of the race. Yeah, he is actually lagged out of the race, and
no way.
The broadcaster curse continues.
Brody, that was literally a textbook broadcaster curse. You just... Electric Days is going to be probably in a must-win. Wait, let me see. No, he won't be in a must-win, but he will be right there on the cut line. That's going to it's going to be a bit concerning for him.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you wanted to see. Especially with him getting no stage points or anything. That's really going to hurt him.
It is. I think another thing that's going to hurt him is that I'm starting to see the 18 slowly but surely move his way back up after getting that, I mean, a ton of damage there in stage 2, missed out on stage points. He is making his way back up there. And I also want to point out that we did have a position change. 3rd place went to JoJo. He passed Killer. So Killer's car might be falling off just a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 18 right now, and I also noticed that the 61 is not up in the top 3. I think he had a little bit of trouble on the restart, but he is kind of working his way through the field, just like the 18. I think that 61 is in 5th place right now, and here comes 5 and 4, 6. So these guys are charging through the field right now.
Yeah, bumping Masopes is not going to be the way to get around him, though. I know that Masopes is a pretty hard-headed individual, and he is not going to allow the 18 around him now after that contact. He is going to race the crap out of him.
I completely agree, as we're seeing right now.
And as they do that, Jackson, another guy on strategy, after a little mistake there on the stage 3 restart, he's starting to poke his way into the battle for 5th or 6th.
I think the 18 could have made a really good run at the top 2 if he had a little bit of track position, but you know, these kind of races are all about execution.
It is all about execution, and you've got to be on it every single lap. You make one mistake, lose a little bit of time. I mean, we saw Kenny, his one mistake was a restart, and he hasn't been able to get back to the lead since. But he is starting to, it's hard to say. It looks like he is kind of maintaining that gap with the 8 so far. But yeah, Kenny still looking for in that lead back.
Tiger and Kenny have basically checked out from this field. You don't even see 3rd place. Yeah,
I want to just go on board. I want to go on board the 7 right here and listen to him as he goes through the bus stop. This is a pretty entertaining part of the racetrack because there's a lot of different philosophies about it. Do you just send it through there? Do you try to apex it on the on the rumble strips. Let's see what Kenny does right. Yep. It looked like he had a really good bus stop right there. Now he's all over Tiger's rear view mirror.
Yeah, that was a beautiful bus stop, and Tiger kind of had a lousy one. That's going to allow the 7 to close right back in on Tiger, and I believe we're about to see some green flag pit stops.
Who dares stay out an extra lap?
They're not going to come down this time. Tiger's going to let Kenny go.
7? Yeah.
Very interesting. I thought that it'd be better to hold him off on pit stops just so you'd have a little bit of an advantage.
Again, these guys are like, in terms of friendship, I would equate them to like Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney. These guys are great friends off the racetrack and on the racetrack, and Tiger showed a lot of respect to Kenny right there. Maybe Tiger heading into pit road this time. Not 100% sure.
I think Tiger showed a little bit too much respect because the 7 is out to basically a 1-second lead over him now. I think he gave too much.
I think the 8 missed the bus stop once again, and you could just see how much missing the bus stop changes in a lap. I mean, it can cost you well over 5/10 just missing one of those apexes and not getting through the bus stop like you want to. If I'm Tiger, I think about pitting pretty soon here and just getting that pit stop out of the way.
Yep, and here comes Kenny. Here comes Tiger. I believe everyone has to come down this time. Here comes Killer. Not going to see anyone stay out.
So far, everybody. 18 is going to get bumped back there from Satsack, I think. Who was that? Yeah, that was the 15. Hopefully the 18 didn't speed right there. I don't think he did. I think he kind of woed up, but very close moment right there.
Yeah, that would
for the 18.
That would absolutely put him in a must-win coming to Talladega.
I haven't really kept up with laps led. If anyone's staying out there, what the laps led are. But it looks like Kenny is going to get an even bigger lead on Tiger coming out of pit road.
Kenny will hold the lead through those pit stops. Notice that JoJo and Jackson came down the lap before. JoJo still holding third place, but barely sees Tiger. You know, they have basically just checked out, and now it's a dash to the finish.
Dash to the finish, no cautions. I'm really liking Kenny's chances right here, and wouldn't it be impressive winning both Charlotte Roval and Watkins Glen here? Kenny is starting to take the upper hand on the guy that I thought was going to win this race, Tiger. But Kenny is doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I can't remember in the admin chat if I picked Tiger or Kenny to win. I think I picked Tiger, though, and this is kind of a surprise. I thought Tiger would be a little bit more consistent than Kenny. That whenever Kenny has clean air, you know, he is really hard to beat.
These guys practice a lot on road courses too. They are exceptional at them. They do a lot of Formula One. They do a lot of NASCAR heat, and this is where they put the pride on. They put it at the road courses. And like, you just look at the rest of the field, and you're just like, oh yeah, I can see these are their best racetracks. They JRM guys really have Watkins Glen down pat.
I feel like if you're good at road courses, you're basically good at anything.
Yeah, I would say you're right. I mean, there's a very different type of racing style, but this is easily the hardest kind of racetrack to be good at. Mm-hmm. Any road course is going to be difficult, especially with the physics on this game. It is not easy to get around here fast, and it takes a lot of practice and a lot of diligence in the testing mode, and I think that's, between that and all the leagues that these two do, they just kick butt out here.
Yeah, and I know Kenny on controller and Tiger on a wheel. This kind of shows you that not really an advantage. You know, we saw Tiger get a stage win. We saw Kenny get a stage win. I don't think there's that much of an advantage whether you're on a controller or a wheel.
Has been a very hotly debated topic. A lot of people think that the wheel has inherent advantage, and I would say it does. I would say having a wheel, because a car has a wheel in real life, and you're emulating a car having a wheel in this game, so having a wheel is going to have an advantage. But some guys are just so good with a controller, man. I mean, I point to, obviously, Kenny. I point to Joker, Heredia, so many others. Sharp. All those guys are just incredible. I think JoJo's on a controller as well.
Yep.
All these guys are just incredible with, you know, a very small range for throttle input and brake input, and they just really kill it out here. And they go toe-to-toe with guys with wheels.
Yeah, they are some of the best in the game. You know, if the Pro League was not set up, I feel like a lot of the people that we watch would, you know, have a really good shot at beating any of those Pro League drivers. Like, I mean, they're that good.
Yeah. These guys, if you gave them presets, if you did a preset league, you would have a lot of guys in Hennessy that would compete with the Joey Stones and the, I won't say the max boosts. I think those kind of guys would be way far out there, Cyogenics and all, but a lot of the Pro League guys, if it was down to presets, I think we would be able to give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
Change for position right there. Not sure what position, but it's going to be the 36 around the soaps. 18 trying to follow him by.
That would be for 6th place.
At it. I want to see where Masopes is. Cut off line. 9 points above. Had a few stage points. He's kind of hovered around 6th and 7th all day. So it won't be a spectacular day, but it's going to be a survival day. And for a lot of guys, that's what a road course in the playoffs is all about. It's just survival. And Masopes is doing a pretty good job of holding on to it right now.
Yeah, and you got to think with electric. You know, I'm looking at Killer or Masopes to possibly jump him. You know, with electric lagging out, that's going to give him the lowest amount of points that you can possibly earn. With him getting no stage points, that's going to be scary for him.
Yeah, I'm a little worried for him. He's also not the biggest fan of super speedways, so we've seen him at short tracks. If he could make it to the next round, he has Bristol coming up, so it'd be big for him if he can make it into the next round. He'll be one of the favorites. But he can't make it to the next round because of, you know, crapshoot at Talladega. He's going to be kicking himself for this one because his internet wasn't able to hold up.
And I didn't want to cut you off, but we got a battle for 7th through 10th right now. I mean, it's getting really intense. The 18 kind of pushed the 78 through the bus stop, which messed up his line, and the 15 took advantage of it, but it looks like the 15's kind of hanging there on the 18.
Ooh, 18's going to send it too far.
Here comes the 15. Look at that. 15's going to take a position away from the 18, and here comes Kay. It's Calais, the guy that we were talking about earlier.
You can't wreck again if you're the 18. You gotta get points now. Every position counts. You cannot be anywhere close to where electric. You gotta make up points on electric right now. Is that the 21 behind them?
I believe we're coming to go.
Who's the 21? Shout out to Ballstick for staying competitive. I know this also isn't one of his best racetracks, but he is right there in that battle for 6 through 10.
Actually,
let's get back to the
go,
leaders.
I believe.
Yeah, Kenny still holding a nice gap. He actually hit the wall right there.
That's gonna bring Tiger back into the picture.
I don't know if he hit the wall or had to lift out of it, but that's going to hurt his rhythm everywhere, and Tiger sends it through there. No, not going to be any penalty for Tiger, though. That's just keeping 2 tires. That's knowing the rules, keeping 2 tires there on the rumble strips at all times. You can't have all 4 in the grass, but just 2 in the grass, that is perfectly fine.
If Kenny allows Tiger to catch up, which he will go wide right there and almost spin. Here comes the 8. 2 to go. Coming to the line.
Tiger's there.
Tiger.
Tiger has been called a choker by a couple guys in this league. And wouldn't it be something if he was able to get one back tonight?
Tiger exiting wide right there might give him a little bit of a speed advantage heading up the S's. He's going to close
Kenny's looking. Yeah, I think Kenny's looking in the mirror a little too much. You just got to turn that mirror off, pretend the 8's not behind you, and just hit your marks. But that 8, another fantastic bus stop. He is still there on the 7's bumper.
I think Kenny's car rolls through the carousel a little bit better than Tiger, but Tiger is still there. He is still in position to make a move for the win. It's going to come down to this last lap.
Yeah, mano a mano for a position in, or for a spot in the round of 7. Who wants it more?
There we go. White flag at Watkins, Glen.
On into turn 1 here. Where's the 8 go? Pretty nice corner for both of them. Stays pretty even through there.
That was the best corner Tiger could have asked for.
S is very nice for Kenny right there through the S's.
Yeah, that's definitely what he wanted to see heading into the bus stop.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's going to give him a nudge.
Tiger's there.
Oh, he's going to carve it down back here on exit and get a nice run heading into 6. Tiger's going to have to send his teammate for this one, though.
Tiger's going to have a little bit of momentum. Tiger's looking. Kenny and Tiger drive it in way deep. Can Tiger make a move? No. Kenny's going to hold him off for the victory at Watkins, Glen. You know Tiger is a little upset that he could not catch his teammate.
There's nobody else he would rather lose to, though. That is his best friend right there. And a heck of a show from both of them. They have done that 2 road courses in a row where it's come down to the final corner.
And it looks like Killer will take 3rd and JoJo in 4th.
That's huge for Killer. I'll say that right now. He was above the cut line to start, but his performance tonight is going to set him up very nicely for Talladega.
Yeah, that was the best thing he could have done in his position, other than, you know, winning against 2 of the best road coursers in the league. See if we can't get Kenny up into the booth.
Yeah. 1 second here. He's not on my friends list. Hold on. I can do this. I can type.
It'll be interesting to see who gets fastest lap, you know. Tiger and Kenny, such an outstanding race. Definitely maxing a very good points day. Let's see if Kenny misses out by 1 point on a maximum points day.
That's crazy to think about, that somebody could be that dominant. I thought Tiger was, but imagine if they put Kenny down in the Truck Series as well for a call down. Who would have won that one?
Yeah. And fastest lap
Kenny
goes to Kenny. A 108.104. That is insanely fast in Xfinity cards.
Yeah, and we are actually joined by second place right now, Tiger NASCAR. Tiger, that was a pretty interesting finish right there. You were able to get back to the 7, but were you ever thinking of giving a little bit of payback for Charlotte Roval?
No, I can't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, you didn't give any payback. It was very respectful. We know that you two have a lot of respect for one another. I don't really have any questions for you, man, but just congrats on second. It's going to give you a really nice points day heading into Talladega. You're almost locked in.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think basically if you start Talladega, you should be locked in on points, which is exactly what you needed to do. I think coming into this race, I think everyone knew that you and Kenny were going to be the ones to beat, and you definitely showed it. Definitely at the beginning of Stage 3, whenever y'all pulled away, like, we couldn't see third place or anything, but it was definitely a nice battle, the whole race between y'all. I was hoping that you could have got around him, kind of biased, but it was definitely a great finish, great one to watch, and you know, congrats on second.
No, thank you. No.
Not 100% sure we're going to get Kenny in here. He might be celebrating too hard. But if we don't get him in the next minute or so, I say we cut it off and get ready for... We got to get ready for a cup race here in a couple minutes here, Brody.
Yeah. Which that stream for the cup race will be led by Electric Days, and I believe will be joined by Assassin.
Good to see Assassin in the booth. I've never seen him in the booth, so...
Yeah, I think this is his first start in the booth.
Yeah.
Definitely excited to see how he'll do tonight.
And we do appreciate anybody that steps up in the booth from HPL. It is all a community effort. And I thank you, Brody, tonight for taking over because my internet just can't do it. So thank you for streaming and giving these Xfinity guys something to watch.
Well, thank you for doing booth with me. You know, I was definitely kind of nervous going into it. I had never led a booth before. So it was kind of nerve-wracking, not gonna lie, but I don't think we'll be able to get Kenny into the booth. Yeah, he's got to be celebrating right now, which is unfortunate for us, but you know, that's gonna basically do it for tonight. Great race between Tiger and Kenny, and we saw a lot of action on the playoff points. You know, Electric lagging out. Although he had that points cushion, I think that's going to be gone heading into Talladega, and I believe everyone under the cut line is going to have to win Talladega to have a chance to be in the round of 7.
Yeah, I would say that's a very fair. With Mudweiser and Kevin not having good races, they will be in must-win scenario.
But as for Jim and I in the booth, that is going to do it for race 22, Watkins Glen of the Xfinity Series in the Hennessy Performance League. We will see y'all later.